What is up? What is up there, YouTube? Bearded Vapor back in for another freaking review. What I got for you guys today is Cold Fusion. This is the Hiss tank, and it's supposed to be a what does this say here? It says a juicy ripe. I can't talk today. Juicy ripe raspberry with dragon fruit and mysterious undertones. Now, being that I've already vaped most of the bottle, there's only just a little bit left in it. A lot of people are saying it's like I keep hearing a rainbow sherbet. I personally don't really get that from this juice, and I'm going to describe what I get from this juice, especially at the lower ohm builds that I build at, which is typically around 0.1, 0.08, 0.15, stuff like that. This is actually a 0.12 build in here in the old Doge atomizer, which I have all sorts of issues with in its own. We're not going to talk about that, though. So let's go ahead and go to the smell test with this. What I get when I actually smell the juice is I really get that that really strong raspberry scent. And I mean, you can kind of smell some other things in there, but you're just not quite sure what exactly the fuck it is you're smelling. It's really that raspberry is super overpowering in this juice. It's about the best way I can describe it. It's kind of the best way I can describe it as it vapes, and I just got juice all over my lap. Awesome. Well, I guess I'm not going to drip everywhere whenever I go to vape it. So, as again with most of the Cold Fusion juices, with the exception of Galil, which is still in pre-release right now, fantastic. Check out my review of that flavor. These are all 70-30 mixtures. Galil is an 80-20. Cold Fusion, all their bottles, they come in 30 mils for $18, and then the 120 is $65. So it's still not, you know, too bad pricing, especially for a premium line juice. $18 per 20 mil. That is a little higher in the price spectrum than I typically go myself. 65 for 120. That is definitely a lot higher than what I go for myself. But it's still not. Excuse me. It's still not a huge price range. I mean, typically for 120 mils of juice, I'm spending anywhere from $40 to $60, unless I'm buying from certain vendors. So we're gonna go ahead and freaking vape this shit because it is delicious. So let's go. And on vapor production for any of the Cold Fusion juices, there's nothing left to be desired. This really does produce, especially at a 70-30. I would venture to say that it produces much like a 90-10 juice. As far as flavor goes, flavor on on this juice especially is super bold. You get that super strong, really ripe raspberry that I get in the smell test on the inhale, and then on the exhale you kind of hit that bitterness from the dragon fruit, and then you also get, you know, some of those other tones that I just haven't quite picked out. I could really definitely see where people are saying it's a rainbow sherbet. That's kind of what I'm picking up on is there's some other fruity undertones in there. It's a little creamy, sort of. I mean, not so much creamy. It's really super fruity, super sweet, and then at the same time it hits you with that bitterness from the dragon fruit that kind of evens out, and it's really well balanced in my opinion as far as this vape goes. I definitely am addicted to it. And all the flavors from Cold Fusion, as I said in my Galil review, super clean juices. You don't get a lot of gunkiness from it. you don't, like, these coils are pretty freaking old, and that wick is also fairly old as well, which is not good for a review. But I've vaped it so much, and I cleared the wick, but with the age of the coils, it just kind of changes the colors of the wick anyways. Super sweet. Again, I'm losing myself here. That's what this juice does, is it makes me lose my mind. It's really freaking good. God damn. Super clean juice. Vapes phenomenally in a tank. I loved it in my sub-tank mini. It's not what I have in there right now, but I did love it in here. I vaped it at 0.5, 0.3, 0.4, 0.8, 1 ohm, 0.1, 0.04. It all vapes. All of them super smooth, super flavorful. I do enjoy it further down into the resistance range, as where I typically do enjoy most of my vaping. Other than that, no throat hit, no burning of the nostrils, none of that. The nicotine is super smooth in there, especially. I mean, I do 3 milligrams, so if it's not super smooth in there, I'm gonna be a little worried about your nicotine levels and such. But as far as recommending this juice, again, I definitely recommend Cold Fusion juices. This stuff is phenomenal. The Galil and the Hiss Tank were my favorite so far. My next review coming up for them is going to be Shock and Awe, and that one is also just a really good vape. So I will check you back for next time, guys. Let's get one more vape here, and I will see you guys again.